Hey guys, I wanted to do another video today talking about macros and calories and the app that I use to track. And my webcam keeps flickering different colors. White shirt, blue shirt, white shirt, blue shirt. I also apologize, hair's not done. This isn't just an excuse to flex, because if it was, I wouldn't be showing off my chigger bite. Chiggers are bad. Avoid them at all costs. Okay, so back to on topic. What are macros? Macros are macronutrients, and they're what make up calories. So there are proteins, carbs, and fats, and they each have different characteristics and benefits as your body digests them. But 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories, 1 gram of carbs, also 4 calories, 1 gram of fat, 9 calories. Now, the calories that you need to consume every day would be your daily caloric intake, and depending on your goals, that value is going to be different. Also depending on things like your age, your activity level, if you're male or female, your height, all these things can change how many calories you should be consuming every day. So to determine, kind of get a base level or an idea of where you should start, there's various calculators you can use. They're online, they're in apps. The one I'm going to show you is in the app that I like to use to track my macros. But first, a little background in understanding what those calorie goals should be is there's typically people set a goal for cutting, for maintaining, or for bulking. Cutting, you're trying to lose weight. Obviously, maintaining, you're trying to stay the same, and bulking, you're trying to gain weight. The idea being that you gain muscle and body fat simultaneously, and then if you then go into a cutting phase, your goal would be to lose weight but try and maintain a higher percentage of muscle, and the cycle continues. So why should you track it all? Well, I recently saw an article in which experts were asked what would be the #1 thing that they would recommend to people trying to lose weight and maintain that weight loss, to not put it back on. And the answer was track your calories, track what you eat. And it sounds too simple to be true, but it's not rocket science. Your body's a machine, and it needs so much fuel each day, and if you eat too much and give it too much fuel, it will store that as fat. And if you give it less, it will use some of its saved stores from the body fat that you have. Over time, either maintain, be in a deficit, or be in a surplus. That weight gain or loss takes a lot of time. It's a slow process. So keep that in mind. So now digging into the apps and how they can be used to help with this. Hey everyone, I've changed. It's the next day, and I thought that I would finish up the video I started. So I think we were diving into the app itself. So the app, I'm going to bring it up on the screen so that you can see it. And first here, we get to see my beautiful wife. And here, towards the middle of the screen, you can see this orange MM+, My Macros Plus. That's the app I use. We're going to pause the video there while I talk about that. The reason I use My Macros Plus is because I want that further breakdown of the macronutrients, because they have certain benefits, as I've talked about before. I'm a big advocate of weightlifting, but regardless of the sport or activity you do, whether it's CrossFit, weightlifting, running, anything, protein has been proven to be a good macronutrient for your body, for rebuilding muscle, and it also is a little bit harder to digest, and so you can burn some calories and energy just in processing the protein through your body. And so that's primarily why I prefer this app, My Macros Plus, is because it changes the focus from just being the total calories, which is a good thing and is the real important thing when you need to lose weight or want to lose weight. But it takes it one step further into then I can focus my weight loss or weight gain. in on the macronutrients, on getting enough protein, or making sure, you know, that I also have the carbs for the energy I want and some fats. And it really makes your nutrition plan a lot more open and versatile, because you can kind of pick and choose the foods you want to eat, and they'll fall into your macros. And there's the saying, if it fits my macros, meaning if you want to have a cheeseburger, eat a cheeseburger, and just calculate that in through the day, and maybe adjust your other meals if you've had some that are high in fats or high in protein or whatever it is, so that at the end of the day you're averaging where your goals are. And if you do that consistently with time, you'll reach your goals. Okay, so we're going to bring back up the recording. And the initial screen here that opens up, you can see the date at the top, and you can go to previous days and look at your history for food items that you've logged into the app. You also have a section for weight. Here you can keep track of your weight. I like it because you can bring up graphs and kind of see based on 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, 6 months, and lifetime if you've been tracking your weight in this app. And it helps just with your progress. I prefer to weigh myself almost every day, but then I'll take like a 7-day average because your weight really can fluctuate a lot from day to day. And so to see, you want more of a trending, you know, to make sure that your trend line is going down or up based on your goals. Okay, then there's the meals tab. Here we're gonna go over entering meals in a minute. You can track water. I don't do that, but there's a macro coach in which it dynamically adjusts the amount of macros you get to eat based on, I think, your weight, keeping track of your weight, but I'd rather do that myself and not have the app try and do that for me. My Circle is a social aspect in which you can add friends, you can see what they're doing, they can see what you're doing. Okay, so the first thing you would need to do if you were using this app would be to create a calorie goal or macro goal. To do that, we can use the calculator built into the app. So in the top right, we go into the settings. We can go into set nutritional goals. And then here, I've got some already in the app, but we would use the nutrition calculator. Okay, so in the macro calculator that comes up, we want to create a goal for maintenance first, and then from that you can add one for cutting or for bulking. I'm going to put in my weight here, 177, my age, my height, 7'3". The activity level here, this will greatly affect the number of calories that it gives you per day. I'm going to select 1 to 3 times per week, so light exercise. And then I'm going to select the maintain weight. For the ratio, I'm going to go with the 30-50-20. This typically ends up giving you about 1 gram of protein per pound of lean muscle mass, which is the recommended value. We're going to calculate the macros. And then here you could name this like maintenance or something. Not even sure I spelled that right. Okay. But, all right. It asks you then if you want to apply it now. You could if you want that. Or you could come in and choose which goal or program you want to use at a later date. Now that you have the maintenance, I would manually add a new macro goal. And the reason for that is that when you use this calculator and many online calculators, they will significantly cut your calories. In fact, in what my opinion is too aggressive, they'll take 400, 500, 600 calories off. My personal opinion is that you should go in the maybe 300 to 400 calorie range from what your maintenance is. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to open back up the maintenance one we just created, and we're going to write down the values there, which are in grams for protein, carbs, and fat. Then we're going to come back and go add new macro goal, and you can just manually create one. This one we could call cut. I've already got one cut. I'm going to call this cut 2. And for the protein value, if you remember, 4 grams of protein is, or I'm sorry, 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. So every 25 grams of protein or carbs, you're taking away 100 calories. So the fat level that it had already assigned me in this, about 50 grams, I don't really want to take away from that. So what I would do is probably take away 25 or 30 grams of the protein for me personally. So mine had me at 170, so I'd maybe do like 140. Save, and then I'd probably take like 60 grams of 60 or 70 grams of carbs. The carbs it had me at was like 286, but just for demonstration purposes here, we'll drop it down to like 200 to show you what it does. The fat, we're going to keep it 50. Save. Okay, and if we save this, and if we apply it. Okay, so I thought I had compiled all the video that I needed to complete this, and when I went to edit it, one of the videos, the audio was out of sync with the video, and so I've got to redo it. So 3rd time's the charm. We had just created a goal, a nutritional goal, a cutting goal, and now I'm going to show you how you can use the app to then begin entering in your meals and tracking your daily macros and calories. So let's go ahead and bring up the meals page of the app. Now, if you either swipe in from the left or, in fact, I'll do it here on my phone in front of you. If you swipe in from the left or click in the top left, it'll open this bar you see. From there, you have a search, which you can search for foods. It remembers what you've entered in the past, and those results will be displayed near the top. You can save customs or favorites. There's a little star by meals that you click, and it makes it a favorite, and then that's also displayed near the top, or you can search for those favorites. Recent is things you've had recently. Frequent is things you enter in or eat often. Recipes are saved meals in which you can have it save all of the components that make up a meal, and then you can search and enter it in a single click instead of adding the individual items or ingredients. Type, brand, I don't really use, or fast track. Barcode scanner is what you will initially use rather frequently, and then as you scan items, it'll save those in the database and in your results near the top, so you won't have to scan as frequently. And then you can add a custom food on rare occasions. If you scan something, it won't come back with the results, or it won't be in their database. And so you'll have to manually enter the food or the item by looking at the nutritional label on their packaging, and then you just enter in the values and save it. All right, so let's start by first scanning, because that's initially what you'll do as you begin to use this app. I'm going to use today some of the things I haven't had, but maybe just some items as an example. So here I've got a Premier Protein bar. I'm going to open the app. We're going to open the barcode scanner. Here, I'm going to scan it, and it's found that item. And it's a good idea to normally just double check in comparing the nutritional information, just to make sure that it's entered in pretty close or correctly, and it looks like it has. So the next thing you would choose is just which meal during the day that you had this, if you want to keep track of that: breakfast, dinner, lunch, post-workout, pre-workout, snack, and I think you can even customize and add additional categories if you want. But let's just say we had this for breakfast. Okay, now in the app you can see that it's added it in breakfast. At the top, it's keeping track of what you have left remaining for the day. So because I've had that 30 grams of protein, I have 110 left. Because I've had 25 carbs from that, I have 175 left. And it looks like that had 8 grams of fat, so I've got 42 left. And then it'll also tell me the calories consumed on the day, 292, and what my total is, my goal of 1,810. It shows those same numbers at the very bottom. So it gives you those in two places. All right, so then if we get to lunchtime, and let's say we have some chicken in a tortilla shell. Okay, so we're going to swipe in, hit the barcode scanner. We're going to bring that up. We're going to scan our barcode. And it has come up with the chicken. And this is now basing it off of 1 gram. You'll find that it's kind of random. Sometimes what's in the database when you scan an item might come up by a single gram. Sometimes it might come up by an ounce. Sometimes it might come up by a measurement, like a half a cup or 3/4 of a cup. And you'll then have to look at the label and maybe convert that. I'm going to show you how to convert that in just a moment. But also I like to weigh everything in grams, and so I convert everything to grams. So in this chicken breast, you then just enter in the amount of grams. Let's say we had 100 grams, save. We had it for lunch. We're going to save it. Okay, now we're going to scan some salsa, because we had that in there with it as well. Oh, it's struggling with this one. Maybe this will be a good one that we can add manually. Oh, no, it found it. But this is a good example of when we want to convert it. So it came up with the results as 1 tablespoon. And I want to compare that to what's on here. 2 tablespoon calories. Okay, it's the number's right, but I want to convert that to grams. So, and in looking at, to do that, I'm going to have to look at the label, and it's going to tell me that 2 tablespoons is equal to 31 grams. And in this, it's got 1 tablespoon. So what I'm going to do is in that top left, I'm going to hit the pencil. I'm going to edit the food info. I'm going to change the serving size to, we'll say like 15.5. Save it. And the name, I'm sorry, not the name, the serving name, we're changing from tablespoon to grams. And then we just leave everything else the same. I'm going to select condiment category. I'm going to hit save. Now you can see in the top left it's now measuring in grams, and it's done the math for me, so it's reduced it to 1 gram. And let's say that I had a full tablespoon, so 31, actually that's 2 tablespoons. That's the serving size here, 31 grams. And I had it for lunch. I'm going to hit check. Okay. The final thing that we're going to add here is our tortilla shell. Let's go barcode scanner. And it found it as a soft taco. Looks like the numbers are good. I had 1, so I'm going to just hit check and save that. And there you can see we've now added breakfast and lunch, and it's keeping our running total. We've had so far we have left on the day is 81 grams of protein, 142 carbs, 35 of fat. The total we've eaten is down at the bottom there, 58 protein, 58 carbs, 14 fat, and we've had 597 calories. So it's just tracking for us. That's the goal, to end the day at hitting your macros. Now to end this video with some search functionality, or searching. If you click on the search bar, one thing you want to double check is in the gear in the top right of the search, turn on global search there, just so that it can access the database and remembers things. All right, so let's say we now have a snack of cottage cheese. Actually, no, we're going to have some mozzarella sticks, but not the fried ones, like a light string cheese mozzarella. So I'm going to just type in mozzarella. Because I've scanned this in the past, I don't need to scan it again. And I have it somewhat frequently, so it's going to be near the top of my results. So there's, we scroll down, it's maybe the 4th or 5th one. You see cheese, mozzarella string light, brand Sargento. Those are the ones I buy at Sam's Club. So let's click on that. Let's say I had 2 pieces and I had that as a snack. Changing the category. Check, back. And now you can see it's now added that string cheese as a snack. So that about does it. So I hope this video has given you some information and maybe an idea on how to use the My Macros Plus app or similar apps for your calorie and macro tracking. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below. Or if you know me personally, go ahead and shoot me a private message. Thanks, guys.